Welcome to Out Here in the Redwoods. My name is Ellen Marie, and tonight we're joined by Chad Duran, a local author, and he's here to share with us some things that he's written, and we're really excited to hear from him. Thanks so much for joining us today, Chad. Why don't you start with telling us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, Ellen. Well, okay, so I am from Eureka, and I went to all the junior high schools around here. I went to a junior high called Jacobs Junior High. I went to elementary called Grant Elementary. I went to actually this high school, Eureka High School. I'm pretty much a local. I went to College of the Redwoods. I graduated with a degree in social sciences, and I went to Humboldt State, and I graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in theater arts and film with an emphasis on film.
Right on, right on. That sounds like quite the entertainment background. So you were born here?
No, I wasn't born here. I was actually born in Maui. So
cool.
How did I get here? My father was a longshoreman, and he got transferred from Maui to Eureka, and we ended up here because his job relocated. Mm-hmm. And so we ended up moving here in 1964.
Right on. How old were you?
I was 3. I was 3 years, yeah, 3 years old.
Right on.
And I've been here ever since, and I've moved away a couple times, come back, and I'm here, but I'm gonna be moving again.
Right on, right on. This is definitely a great place to call home. Really a nice place to bounce off from, and spend time in other places and then come back. That's cool that you've been able to take advantage of this place like that. So what have you brought for us? You've written some things?
I have written some things. I am a self-published author. I written a book on Prop 8 in 2008. And when I wrote this book in 2008, the traditional marriages and the Mormon church had put on the ballot to stop gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender people to marry, and they won. So I wrote a book. I was really angry and I was really mad because I believe that who gave the Mormon churches and traditional marriages the right to tell gay people, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, that they can't be married when, let alone, our parents give us the right to say it's okay to marry. So I decided to write a book on Prop 8 Overturned about myself, about me living as a gay man, and how I felt like a second-class American citizen. And this is the book.
Right on. That's really cool. Right on, right on. Is this available locally now? Like, is there a bookstore I could go to and purchase it?
Actually, it was available in Booklegger a couple of years ago, but I sold out. If anybody wants to order it right now, they can order it on Amazon.com.
Oh, cool.
So you just go to Amazon.com and type in the search Prop 8 Overturned.
Okay, and they'll come up with that book.
It'll come up with this book.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. That's really cool. So is there Prop 8 Overturned? Where did it come from? Is it just kind of more nonfiction, like you talking about things that are going on, or is it actually like a narrative, like a story?
So it is a narrative and things that happened to me and how I felt when the traditional marriages and Mormon church took away my rights. Mm-hmm. I was really mad. I was like, now I can't marry the person that I love because of ballot, because these people didn't accept the gay lifestyle. So I decided to write Prop 8, and it's about a story about me advocating, talking to people about why they should allow people who are gay to marry, because we are no different than our mother and fathers.
Right.
We want the same.
Right. Right. So where, does this book talk about the time in between, we were given the right to get married, and then the November election that took it all away again? Because there was a period of 5 or 6 months there where, gay people in California could get married.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like they couldn't anymore. What did that affect, your relationship at the time? Was that something that needed to happen for you?
Yeah, it did. So this book has the time when we actually lost our rights to marry, into the time when I had to advocate again to tell people that you need to realize that it's not true about what the propaganda media is saying about. I'm not sure if you remember when the traditional marriages had put on commercials about the little girl, and she said something, oh, Mommy, they're teaching us about gay lifestyle. I'm not sure if you remember that.
Oh, I don't usually watch mainstream media. Usually I'm here, watching Access TV and local stuff, and a lot of the time I will, pick up a YouTube thing here and there, and I do remember, from the National Organization of Marriage, some of their, just some of their really nasty campaigning.
So some of that talks about that. Some of this talks about, how we should separate the church and state. And so I started out in November 2008, and I talk about how when we lost our rights to marry and what I needed to do to let other, not just gay people, but people who were my friends or people that who were allies or people that I could change their minds and let them know that we do deserve the rights, just like our parents.
Totally.
So it talks about that. It talks about the time when the judge overturned Prop 8 because he overturned it and then they stopped it again and then they struck it down.
Right. It was
a really weird thing.
Yeah.
So they overturned it and then they took it away. They nulled it again. They nulled it. So all the people that were, when it was overturned, they were able to marry, but then they decided to make it a null. So all those people who went to the courthouses weren't able to marry. I mean, they took it away from them. And so in 2013, and June 26, 2013 is when they struck it down.
Finally and officially,
Finally,
right?
yeah.
Right, and it wasn't even so much that it had to do with, rights and things like that, but it was more about who had the right to argue in the courthouse for, for or against whatever was going on, and which I think was really very interesting that we went on a technicality.
I know, we did. That was awesome. We were like just celebrating that day. June 26, 2013 is when Prop 8 was struck down and DOMA went away.
Totally. And so when was this book published?
Okay, so this book was published in 2008.
Okay.
So okay. So in 2008 is when. Oh no, I'm sorry. This book was published in 2011.
Okay.
2011. So 2008 is when we lost our rights.
Totally.
Was the first time we lost our rights when the traditional marriages and the Mormon Church took our rights away.
Basically. With all their money and campaigning.
And the campaigning.
Confusing.
Yeah.
Confusing ballot voting. So if I vote yes, that actually means no, and if I vote no, that actually means yes. That got me on a lot of people I talked about. Yeah. Oh, that was.
I think that got a lot of people, and so a lot of people were kind of angry because they're like, "Wait a minute, I voted yes, so that means you're going to get your rights to marry," But yes meant no, no meant yes.
Right, and that's confusing.
Would you like to read a little quote?
Sure. And this is, what will I be reading?
So you would be really reading how I felt about how the churches should separate the state from the church.
Okay.
So here.
Okay, and so this is actually character speaking.
Yeah.
And this is you speaking as your character to your friends?
To people, my friends, and yes.
Okay. You're right. It's about separating the church from the state. It's about the people. Right now, we're feeling like second-class citizens, like we're not free. The only way GLBT can overcome this atrocity, to overturn Prop 8, is by continuing to advocate for marriage equality. Marriage is the same, whether straight or gay. We need to march. We need to be heard.
That's how I really felt.
Effective.
That was really effective because at the time I was like, I was more than angry. I really felt like my civil rights were taken. I didn't feel comfortable anymore in California. I really didn't. I didn't feel like I felt like we're like really second-class citizens. Like these people with money just said, "Oh, we don't like you, gay people. We don't like you because you're gay and you can't marry," and they took our rights away.
Just like that.
Yeah, they did.
And it was particularly telling, especially around friends and stuff. I don't know if you had this situation, but I definitely kind of went through it, and a lot of my friends did too. Some families were divided with that. Like gay children listened to how their parents were, encouraging their friends, to vote a certain way for Prop 8.
No, and yeah, I had a similar situation. I mean, thank God I come from a very open, loving Catholic family, but I'm in a sense where all my family love me and they accept me for my lifestyle. And that's what I'm trying to say. These are the people that are accepting my lifestyle. So who gives these strangers, these churches, these traditional marriages tell me that I can't marry the one I love?
Totally.
You know,
Totally.
I mean, so that's why I got really angry. I felt like not safe walking around. I felt totally like I needed to go and advocate. So in this book, I talk about going to bars where people from marriage equality would have rallies. I talk about going to the courthouse and standing up with the signs and saying Prop 8. I advocated at my work.
Nice.
So I pretty much did a lot of advocating.
Nice.
A
nice.
lot. I mean,
talking to people, trying to change minds.
If you don't do something and you sit there, why should you have a voice to say anything?
Right. Truly.
You know?
Truly. You got to fight for what you want.
Got to get on up there.
Totally. And it looks like you have something else.
I
Did you bring something else to share with us today?
I do. I wrote this. This is the book I wrote in 2008, and this is just a fiction.
Right on.
So this is just a really kind of a story about a transgender mother. I wrote this because I do have a cousin who came out transgender, who transitioned in 1978. So she was pretty much one of the leaders.
Yeah, totally. Quite an innovator for her time.
And she did go through the whole operation. I mean, she went through the whole operation of, changing from male to female.
Right.
I mean, she did get, it was hard for her in 1978. But once she did the whole operation, she became stealth. And she ended up just molding herself into the society. But so I took this book, I wrote this book about her, and I also wrote this book about my real dad because I lost my real dad when I was 5 years old. And so he's this character that I put him, and my mom is this blonde woman because my mom would always talk about her beautiful great-great-great-grandmother who was German. And at the time, I was missing my real father who had passed away. And I just started writing. And I ended up with this book called Aloha Freddie. And it's just about a boy who's raised by transgender. And his best friend is the richest girl in town, the most beautiful girl in town. She's a cheerleader. She's so in love with him. But he has no desire to be with her because she has no culture. She has no idea of what a tiki head is, and that really turned him off. I mean, so they go through this. They go through this kind of like relationship where she's just madly wanting to be with him, and he's like, everything that comes out of your mouth is really ignorant and dumb. Not really in that sense, but so in the end. I hate to ruin it for you guys. In the end, she ends up murdering him. And you don't mess with the transgender son. No. Oh, yeah, you don't think Mrs. X of transgender mom isn't going to come back?
Rad.
Yeah.
Rad.
So I wrote this. It's Aloha Freddie.
Okay, so...
you can read the back of it if you want.
Aloha Freddie is about working-class boy who is Hawaiian and upper-class girl who is German. She is spelled by the magical Hawaiian tiki head that draws her irresistibly to the working class boy, which ends in tragic circumstances. That sounds really cool. Right on.
Yeah.
Are you working on anything currently?
I am. Sad to say, I lost my mother 10 months ago, and I've been writing 2 books about her. And the book is called, the first one I'm done with, I just need to edit. It's about my family and how I was raised by a mother who was working class. She worked all her life, and she was a single mother. And it talks about me and my journeys and my path with my mom. And my family, and it's called the Huiva'a family. So there's little things that I wrote this book because I wanted to go back and have it on paper, how I grew up with my mom.
Totally.
And then there's another book called The Storm, and it's the after effect about what's going on now with me since my mother is in the eternity life, meaning she's in heaven. she can see me, I can see her, I can feel her through sense, through wind, through people. I mean, like, and it just, I get, and that book is called The Storm. And it's amazing because, like, have you ever felt like you're somewhere and all of a sudden you look at someone and they look exactly like your mom?
I've definitely had that. Not
I mean,
necessarily
it's
my,
so
my
weird.
mom, but I can relate.
I mean,
can
like, I
relate.
was like driving and like right after my mom passed, I'm like, oh my God, I had a double take and go, wait, my mom just passed away.
Totally.
So that part, stuff like that is in the book. In the cemetery where I go see my mom, where I see people walking through the cemetery while I'm visiting my mom, and there's some kind of connection that you just have to understand. Man.
For sure.
So, but the reason why I want people to know that is it's really hard. But I think the best thing is to write about it, what you feel, because people can end up going crazy because I was really close to my mom, and I want to continue to write a book and have those memorable journeys to remember.
Rad.
So I'm working on that too. There's two: the Hui Va'a family and the Storm.
And for the one about your family, I'm sorry, would you say the title again?
The Hui Va'a family.
Okay, and
That's the Hui Va'a.
what does it mean? Is it
Hui
your
Va'a
name?
is my mother's maiden name.
Oh, right on.
So that's who she was, Verna Keala Hui Va'a. Obviously, it's Hawaiian. So, and it's about, I decided to make it about her because my mother was like my life force. She taught me everything I know. I could call her up and say, Mom, she would help me. I would feel better. You know what I mean? So I decided to call it the Hui Va'a family.
Right on.
Yeah.
What a great way to honor her, and also help keep yourself on track. You know, by having something physical. I can totally like relate to that. Now I see that now I kind of want to go a little different direction. I love being able to put real things in people's hands. And so you can't really pick these up anywhere except Amazon.com.
Exactly.
Right?
So you can get these up. Both these books are on Amazon.com.
Okay.
All you have to do is go to Amazon.com. They were in local stores, but
Totally. Copies are limited. Usually that kind of stuff just goes real fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't mean to pry or anything, but they don't look traditionally published. Can you tell me a little bit about the publishing process that you went through to get these guys on the market?
Okay, so there is also many ways that there's many ways that you can get your books published. There's Lulu.com is, I recommend, this is what I think, but other people will say you should try to find a mainstream publisher, because if you get a mainstream publisher, like Scholastic, Penguin, they pay for everything for you.
Oh, okay.
So what you do, so this is the process. So these books were self-published.
Okay.
I was really I didn't want to deal with trying to find a mainstream publisher.
Okay.
Because as you know, there's people who spent 100 times trying to get a publisher.
Rejection
40
letter
times,
after
rejection.
letter.
I just wanted to self-publish. When I found out I could self-publish my book, I went through the self-publishing. You pay amount of money.
Okay.
I don't know how much I paid for it to get done.
Okay.
You submit it. You download it. I got this published through iUniverse.
Okay, cool.
And they're in Indiana.
Right
so
on.
what you do, when I call them, I just thought they were great because the universe, so iUniverse.
Oh, no, for sure.
But so I went through iUniverse, and what I had to do is pay one fee. Then once you pay a fee, you submit your manuscript. And when you submit your manuscript, they go ahead and you tell them what size of book that you want, and whether you want it hardback or paperback. And I want a paperback.
Right
And then they'll do the whole manuscript, and then they'll go ahead. They ask you what you want on the cover, and I designed this.
Nice.
This is what I wanted on my cover.
Nice.
That's a tiki head. So that is a tiki head, and so they designed it. I told them what I wanted, And they have a place where you can go on the computer and they ask you, what do you want the back of the cover to say?
Nice.
That's self-publishing.
So you don't even have to worry about like rejection letters and stuff.
No rejection letters. Exactly.
You just take care of it yourself. That's really cool.
And
That's really cool.
there's a few books that are self-published. They say that, I'm not really sure. They say most books that are self-published really don't go to movies or whatever. But I think there was a couple that did go to movies.
Well, and it doesn't really matter. Okay, so this book that I self-published isn't going to make a movie. So what? Is one person going to read it? I think that that might be worth it just in of itself, just to take it from you and your computer typed manuscript to actually something physical you can hand to someone and say, here, take this home.
Exactly.
That's rad.
So this is self-publishing. So I got these 2 books self-published with the same company called Eigenors.
Okay.
So, and that's how I got the design. I told them I wanted rainbow colors, and they did the rainbow colors like this. So
nice.
It's exactly the same. They give you your little
and you
barcode.
actually get an
ISBN number.
Nice.
You get an ISBN number, and okay, so these are self-published. There's another way that you could do it, and it's mainstream publishing.
Right.
Most people, I would love to get a mainstream publisher to pay everything for me, but like you said, I've only been rejected 7 times.
Yeah, who wants to mess with rejection
letters? But people are like, that's nothing. Look at people.
Sure.
Look at people like. Look at people that. I don't know, movies like The Sixth Sense. The Help. Other things have been rejected, and it took them a long time. But I'm just saying that. For the book, my new books that I'm working on right now, I'm going to find a mainstream publisher.
Right on.
I'm not going to give up.
Right on.
I'm definitely going to get one because I've been getting really good feedback. I just, for the storm, I submitted a query, and a query is just kind of with your name on it, and it kind of says who you're submitting or who you want to represent you.
Right.
And then you tell them about what you have done, things that you've done, books that you published, and also you talk about the book and what your book is about.
Okay.
So I sent it to a publishing company in Los Angeles, and they sent me a query back, and they said, we know that you're going to find an agent. Just be passionate. If you're as passionate as you are about that book, another agent will also be as passionate as you are. They're really positive. That made me feel really good.
Right on, right on.
We all hate rejection.
Right. But at least they did it in a nice kind of marshmallow way as opposed to
But so mainstream is like where you get rejection letters, you submit a query, they might ask you for a chapter or 7 chapters. If it's compelling or if it's something that they love and something that they feel like is happening in society right now, you can find one.
Right on.
So there's mainstream publishing, self-publishing.
Cool, and that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you have that's kind of still in the works.
I have thousands of gay stories I wrote too.
Yeah. Have you tried submitting them to any like magazines or anything like literary magazines and stuff like that?
No, maybe I should. I have never really thought about that.
Yeah, totally. There's so many magazines out there. Like I'm starting to look more into media and things things that I'm interested in and trying to find out more things about that. So you totally should.
Okay, well,
you totally should.
Literary magazines. I never thought about that.
Not even so much literary magazines, but we all know that there's those kinds of magazines out there. Well, there's words in them too, not just pictures. So, those are perfect places for your stories. Even if they aren't, those kinds of stories, you can still, get your words out there, especially if it's worth reading. You've got 2 already, so it's just, onward and upward for you. That's rad.
Nice.
That's rad. That's really cool. Now I want to read some more of your stories now. Tell me about some of your stories. Is it?
Okay, so I do. Most of the stuff that I write, there's always like a character that's gay. I always have to put a gay character in it. That's just the way I write. But I have I write things about social class stratification. Whether you're for instance, you meet someone and you're in love and you meet them out in a bar. This is kind of a fictional thing. And here you're poor and they're very wealthy, or here they are somewhat he isn't really out and you're madly in love with him, but you want him so badly, but there's class stratification.
Totally.
And so there's obstacles that happen in stories that I write like that.
Right on.
And so there's things that, you know, like his parents, or he can't talk to the character because of who his family is.
Interesting.
But they're both gay, but one of them has social stratification where he's not openly out yet.
Right, because for whatever reason he can't be.
Religion.
Or family. Or situational,
or
whatever it might
or
be.
if he comes out, he loses all his luxuries and money.
Right, right.
And I write some fun stuff just about like fantasy stories about hot, you know, a boy who sees a hot man and sleeping on the beach and he's he fantasizes, you know.
For sure, because there's always that, you know.
Yeah, or stories about like, I have an older gay brother and we're really different. Totally. So I kind of I don't really use his true self. I always change like his name.
Right.
But I'm very out, and I'm totally political. I'm an activist, gay activist. My older brother is very closeted.
That must be difficult.
Yeah, and so we are really different. People can't tell that he is, but obviously you can tell I am.
Right. And
so I write about our stratification and about difference of brothers.
Even in your family. Right on.
So stories like that. I mean, you know, or someone that just is really amazing that I meet, and I think that, you know, someone that makes a difference. Like, oh my God, it was someone that's running for political office that is GLBT, and I think it's fascinating.
Right. Rad. That's really cool.
You know, stories about my family.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's been great talking to you today, Chad. I'm really thrilled that you were able to come and have a chat with us. It was really great that you shared that the books, the books that you have that you've already had a chance to publish. We have Prop 8 Overturn and also Aloha Freddie, both of which are available Amazon.com. They do have ISBNs. You can probably even just look for Chad Duran there on Amazon and come up with both of these. And hopefully, in the very near future, whatever else you have that is in the works.
Support your authors, your local, your gay ones.
There you are. Well, my name is Ellen Marie, and it was fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today out here in the Redwoods.